Ready, Tim?
Yeah.
We'll call to order the April 14th Ventnor City meeting. Everyone please rise for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So you think we can roll call?
Commissioner Kribel?
Here.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Here.
Mayor Holtzman? Let the record reflect Mayor Holtzman is absent.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the law. We have no presentations moving through our agenda. We don't really have an audience here. You have people online, Jim, at all?
Yeah, we have a couple people in the,
So for the benefit of the public, this is our workshop meeting. We typically do not take action in that workshop. However, tonight we will be. We'll be introducing our budget. I think we're going to do that kind of right at the beginning here. So we will be introducing that in a few minutes. But then we will go through the rest of our workshop agenda, which is all the things that we will vote on later this evening. And then move into our regular meeting soon after and adopt those ordinances, initiate those ordinances and adopt resolutions. So with that, we have no department heads meetings tonight, no capital discussion. So our first item, and this will be an action item, is the resolution 2022-119, a resolution of the city of Ventnor, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, introducing the 2022 municipal budget to be read by title only. Thank goodness, because it's about 100 pages. Leon Costello, would you like to give us a little brief
Sure.
update on this?
Okay, tonight's the introduction, and it really, believe it or not, is the beginning of the process, even though we've been through months of formulating the budget, but now we officially introduce it. It'll be listed on your website. It'll go to the state, although you are self-examined, so the state won't look at yours. And in a month, we'll have the public hearing. At that time, the public can ask questions on the budget. We'll field any questions that you need to field and proceed to adopt it. Need two people to introduce it. You have two people, so
Yeah.
we're good to
We
introduce
can't
it.
do anything without at least two people.
Yeah.
Right.
The highlights are, it's a rock solid budget. The combination of the school debt and your actual increase is going to net out to practically nothing. So in a sense, there's no tax increase with this. We also had the Board of Assessments meeting last week, and it's a 3-cent tax decrease on the school side.
Right.
The county, we still don't know yet. We're still waiting for the equalization table to come out. I don't know why we don't have it,
I
but
heard that Margate had gotten theirs and
did they?
it was good.
Okay, I'll call, I can't call tomorrow. I'll call again Monday and see if, call Keith and see if I can get it. Then I can project out by the time we get to adoption of what the county's going to be.
Okay.
It's equalization is a thing that happens every year where they take each town and say, here's your net valuation taxable, in your case, 2,095,000, but you really should be about 2,004,000, just to pick a number. So
Right.
they equalize everybody out. Then they take all those equalized values. And if you're 2,004,000 of 58 billion,
You pay your
then you're a
proportionate share.
percent, you get that percent of the tax levy.
Yep.
So once I get the equalization table, then I can figure that out.
Right. Look pretty logical.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And then you take that tax levy, divide it into your value, becomes what the rate comes out to be. So it's a
Gotcha.
floating process.
And, through this process, I mean, it's arduous every year to go through these. And we, each year, each department goes through it. Each department head comes to us with their asks and we beat them back a little bit with the chair and the whip. And
Right.
But this year we understood that, cost increases for fuel,
Yeah.
materials, there's a lot of that going on. So we've anticipated some of that in this budget.
Right.
Looking at it from, at least from Public Works Department and what we have to repair in our vehicles, certainly with the fuel and things for PD and fire department, public safety agenda. Right. Costs are going up. So we've incorporated that in here. We think we are still good with a 0 increase with that. So that is a positive. You'll go into this in more detail at the public hearing.
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do the.
Yeah, tonight
the
is-
Song and dance.
Right, right.
But I think we also have created some program miscellaneous revenues that have increased to help buoy some of the
Yeah.
forward expenses, things like ambulance and the beach badges. Those are things that are helping sort of offset.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're financially very sound,
Those are line items that have slowly increased.
correct.
Over the last
Mhm.
5 years.
Right.
So,
Our fund balance is up to 7,000,007. I
right.
think when you took office, it's probably, probably less than 1,000,000.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing that's remarkable to me is
Yeah.
that the fund balance is 700%.
Yeah.
Roughly, right? So that's something that just shows good fiscal responsibility and our bond rating, I think it's all part of that whole, that whole formula that helps each
Mhm.
one work. So we're proud of this budget.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We are. I would agree with that. And the work that staff did, Leon did, Al,
Mhm.
Al's the one that brings us in the good or bad news. This year was good.
Yeah.
But, he sits in with each of us with our department heads and as well as Maria. She's the gauntlet.
That's true.
She is.
She is.
Yeah. From day one, when the 3 of you took over, it's been a success story.
With help of staff, yourself included. You educated me on this process, so much so that I understand your multiple sheets of information now for the most part. The highlighted lines anyway, they're the
Right,
ones
right.
I focus on. But yeah, you're right, Tim. I mean, this is something that we've worked towards responsible.
Yeah.
Things cost money. To keep them, we're a $30 million a year corporation.
Right. That doesn't really, it's not a for-profit.
No.
It's a way to, but I think the fund balance piece of it is just good culture that we were trying to create here. I think that was something that has in the past has been used as a tax leverage, but I think that the way you and we approach it is a little bit more responsible.
Right. You're
There-
miles under both caps. You could spend a lot more money. You could tax a lot more if you wanted to. It's not your desire, but
No,
you're so far under both caps, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's great.
good.
So I need a motion to introduce it and then a vote
Okay.
to,
I'll ask for a motion to introduce ordinance 2022-119, our 2022 municipal budget.
Motion to introduce as described.
My second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kribel?
Yes.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes.
I'll see
Thanks,
you in a
Leon.
month. Yeah.
Thank you,
Appreciate it.
Leon.
See you in a month. And let us know when you hear from the county, please,
Yes.
Yeah.
With what?
from the
Oh, yeah,
county.
yeah.
To get the final picture, right?
Yeah, I got a bunch of phone calls to make as soon as I get that.
Great. Thanks, Leon.
Good seeing you. Good night. Take care.
Happy Easter.
Same to you. Everybody.
All right, next up, we will adopt our March 10th and March 24th regular commission meeting minutes. And we will have, it's like 4 ordinance introductions. The first, and I brought the wrong glasses with me tonight, so forgive me. I don't have my bifocals on. These are the computer glasses. So the first ordinance that'll be introduced is 2022-003, supplementing chapter 61 of alcoholic beverages. This is what we talked about last meeting for the VFW. We're looking at creating a club license for them.
Right.
And this will introduce that ordinance. I was able to speak to the 2 firefighters that are also veterans that had come in and requested. They're excited. The membership is dwindling there.
Right.
So they're trying to hope that this will bring some of the younger guys back
Right.
into the VFW and be able to, to generate more membership.
Yeah.
And help their club. So that'll be introduced tonight. Second ordinance that'll be introduced is 2022-004. This is adopting a revision and codification of our ordinances. The next 2 deal with that because the next one we needed to insert, from what I understand, chapter 114. But this is just 04 is a recodification of our current ordinances. No changes, it's just putting in a new codification order. 2022-05, what I just mentioned is chapter 114 is our fee schedule. We're not changing them. It's just we needed a place to put that within the ordinance. It was
Right.
was in a different place, I guess, at one point. Okay. And the last one is 2022-006, which is amending chapter 180A-9 seasonal occupancy. We had a seasonal occupancy for someone who was going to rent for the summer, say. Now we have short-term rental
Right.
definition and an ordinance that maintains that licensing and that whole code. So we don't need the seasonal anymore. So
Right.
Jimmy's asked us to rescind that part of our ordinance and just handle it with short-term versus long-term rentals.
So in a way, it's more friendly to the short-term rental because it was strictly limiting them
It is.
to months of the year,
Yep.
where this is a month
Right.
at a time.
Yeah. And if
So
you're
it's
longer than that,
longer.
you're a long-term rental. So.
Right.
It's covered.
Okay.
More efficient, less paperwork.
And more
Stuff that way.
accurate.
Yes. Yep. So those will be introduced tonight. We do not have any public hearings. Then we will adopt by consent resolutions 120 through 145. We don't have anything to add from the bench tonight.
No, we don't.
The first one is resolution 120. Authorizing no parking on South New Haven Avenue and Beach Block, both sides on Saturday, June 25th, from 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. for the Bungalow Beach Run 2021. Any questions on that one? I'll go through unless you have questions.
No, I looked at them.
2021 is authorizing certain closures during the Atlantic City Marathon, road closures, probably the boardwalk too for bikes. 122 is authorizing certain closures and no parking during the Ironman event. Tim, you were competing in some of these.
Yeah.
You need to,
Taking a hiatus this year.
you did the fun run.
I did the
right?
fun run, yeah, and a couple things. I'll be back.
We'll be back, the Ironman.
Yeah,
We're setting a goal for that.
that's right.
It's not going to be me.
Goals.
123 is, let me get the pens out here. 23 is award of a contract, general repairs and construction of utilities, an emergency basis. Previous contract expired. We bid it out again. Arthur Henry was our only respondent. They were our emergency responder in the past, and we would recommend award to them
Mhm.
on an as-needed basis. And the next one is 124. This is what you just spoke about, was the ambulance billing.
Yeah,
Touch base on that.
and it's nothing that's, we're doing this out of the ordinary. We just have a great, we just, through referrals and interviews, found a great company. This is awarding them extension of their billing services, and they've been kind of a Cinderella story as far as revenues come in. But really, just because they are billing correctly and they're accurate and they follow up on things that other previous, let's just say it, previous services were not being given to the city. And it's of the order of magnitude of hundreds of percents.
Yeah, they're doing a
So
great job.
we'll find out in July what a year with this company is versus what previous is, and it's going to be a big increase
They've been good.
of just things that are expendables and accurate billing.
Okay, 125 is the closeout of escrow accounts. I think it's from Roger. It's actually for the Memorial Park, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They finished out their required improvements to the roadways, right, and the right of way. So we're closing out their escrow account. 126, authorizing the execution of the tax abatement continuation agreement with Block 54, Lot 20, Qual C002, also known as 168B Weymouth Avenue. 127 is the authorizing grant application for Ocean and Pro New Jersey Grantor Trust. That one I didn't, for some reason I missed the details on that. Maria, do you have any details on that one?
Okay, I'm sorry. Which one?
127?
Ocean Wind Pro, New Jersey.
We're
Yeah,
applying for a
this-
grant for matching
this-
funds for Winchester Avenue bulkhead.
Right.
I do remember this. I'm sorry.
And this is another wind company, not Orsted. They're doing a project.
Okay, good. 128, authorization of claimant certification policy. Yeah, what is that?
What that does is it allows us
It's
to
now.
pay vendors without having to get signatures on corporations. So like,
Understood.
so if it's, the lease agreements and things, we don't have to keep getting purchases signed.
Right.
Okay,
And it just speeds up the policy of getting payments to the vendors.
more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, it's going across the board throughout the state now,
Okay,
but not local vendors and things like that. They still have to sign, but just for certain vendors.
okay, thank you. 129 is the award of contract to S. Patata Corporation, the amount of $561,820 for accessible corner ramps, concrete curb and gutter installation Ventnor Gardens area on streets that are scheduled to be paved by South Jersey Gas. Those streets include Wissahickon, Battlefield, Essex Court, Swarthmore, Washington, and Calvert. Similar to what we've done all over the city in preparation for the South Jersey Gas coming in and repaving all the roads that they've already dug up.
Right.
We do all the concrete work that we think we need to do. It's not full gutter and curb, but it's where it's needed. And we do all the intersections with ADA accessible ramps.
So,
Which is critical.
so when it's repaved, it's.
Yes, it's all done. It's a good street. We've had success doing that. Has been real proactive with it. 130 is a resolution that authorizing a refund. It's in the resolution, but the word is missing, refund. We're not
Yes,
in the amount of 50 cents for beach badges.
yeah.
Is that gonna be a check or?
45 pennies and a nickel. It's,
Sorry.
it's funny. I read 50 cents. I'm like, that's got to be $50, right? No, it's 50 cents.
It's 50 cents.
We tie things out to the penny, right, Al?
That's right.
Right.
131 is resolution authorizing change order for one, water and sewer improvements, Baltimore Avenue, Wyoming Avenue, and Lafayette Avenue. Ed giving me a breakdown of what we're doing here. This is, as I said, change order number one, the amount of $13,241, replacement of storm sewer pipes across Monmouth Avenue. Work was not anticipated. Doing the utility work we were doing, we ran into an issue. We had to redo the stormwater to make it continue to function. $132, awarding de Blasio and Associates Lower Ventnor Heights Resiliency Study in the amount of $73,510. This is a study, it's the first phase of a multi-phase project
Mhm.
that we will be working through with de Blasio doing the study phase. Get the roads. It's basically, it's Dorset Avenue at the bridge, but it will incorporate project funded partly by FEMA, $130,000, award for phases 1 and 2, topographic survey, conceptual designs, and pre-application DEP. It's basically Derby Avenue, Monmouth, Edgewater, and Dorset Avenue, that area where it floods significantly.
Yeah.
Tidal flooding is mostly our issue there.
So is the idea that it'll be mapped and that, I guess a plan is gonna
Yes,
Could be in
phase 2
place.
would be the plan, and then phase 3 would be,
pricing and execution.
pricing it out and execution. It's going to be a pretty significant undertaking.
Yeah.
That's moving that project forward. And we got some good funding from FEMA to help us with it. So,
That's good. $125,000.
yes. Item or resolution 133 is support from local governing body authorizing Sustainable New Jersey 2022 Environmental Defense Fund. It's a Sustainable New Jersey program that'll help us try and save some, get into it, similar to ESIP, I think. Right, Maria? It seems like to do the same kind of thing, looking for clean energy.
For Sustainable New Jersey.
Yes.
Doing like evaluations.
Right.
Recommendations, numbers, yeah,
Okay,
charting things.
I'd do that too.
Jim thought it would be a good idea. to do
Okay,
it, yeah,
our grants coordinators coordinating that.
Yeah,
one. All right.
yeah. I didn't know if it was repetitive, he said, and he said, no, it's.
No, it's a
good
one-time
idea
thing.
to do it. Yeah.
134 is, that's why Ernie's here tonight, awarding contractor for construction and installation of well number 9, AC Schultes. And it's a new motor and pump. And this time it'll be a submersible pump. Ernie, what's the pump, kind of pump we have in there now? It's not submersible, it's in line, you said?
Actually, the pump that came out of there is 20 years old.
Okay,
And that was actually a color pump. It was 12 stages. Back when they put pump in 20 years ago, they didn't have color pumps. What they're going to be putting in now is a color,
okay,
and it's going to be much more efficient than what we have. And what will happen is that well will now be basically brand new.
okay, good.
So we'll be able to pump plenty of water.
All right.
That contract was not to exceed $55,898. Resolution 135. This is part-time employment. Pull this out. Go get everybody's name down here. So this is for rec department as well as the pier. This is summertime seasonal part-time work. Kelly Carrier is a tennis court supervisor. James Arts is pier attendant. Lugene Trustfeger, peer attendant, David Rumsey, peer attendant, Stephen Corey, peer attendant, and Dan Zemetto as peer master. Three of those are returning. We added one this year because we're increasing those hours to have an attendant,
We have two new ones.
2 new ones, right?
Do you have the Corey?
Yeah,
Okay, he's the second.
I said we had 3,
And David, two new ones.
right, I had 3
Yes.
existing and 2 new ones, that's what I said.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm sorry. I thought you said
Oh, you got it.
that. Okay.
You and me both. I'm switching glasses to see what, this the print's so small on these things. 136 is authorizing a refund to Edward Grizz in the amount of $64. Also beach badge. Right.
Yes, yeah. They
They
purchased
purchased.
each badges, yeah.
137, Public Safety Commissioner Tim Kriebel and execute an agreement with Chief of Police. That's
Yep.
self-explanatory.
He's watching now, just to be sure.
The Chief, huge reduction in salary. No, it's not. No, it's not. We're kidding. Worth every penny.
That's right.
And then 138 is similar resolution for Commissioner Kriebel to execute a contract agreement with our Chief of the Fire Department.
Yeah.
Also worth every penny.
Excellent.
Do excellent work for our city.
Both.
139 is authorization for myself to execute an agreement with our Superintendent of Public Works, Ed Stinson. Been a great asset since
Also
we
great.
got him over here. Brought him across the bridge from Brigantine. Still get grief every time I go over there. But a good asset to our, and Wheels knows. He's probably heard the conversations.
Really, good department.
We really do.
Really
Yeah.
good.
We really do.
Yeah. Yep.
Present company included,
Absolutely.
as well as Ernie back there. He's our water and sewer department. And he's so popular. Brigantine uses him now. We have an agreement with them. I don't know if you guys remember that. We did a shared services agreement where Ernie helps them out with their water licensing.
Thanks, Ernie.
He has those, and they pay him for the amount of time he spends there.
That's great.
They pay us for the time he spends up there. Resolution 140, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement between the city of Ventnor and Atlantic City Electric. This is a tariff. And we're going to be opening this up in the near future to look at this. Not necessarily this one, but the tariff overall. Going through a little bit of a hitch in our banners on the boardwalk and places. So we're going to look at that and see what we can resolve with Atlantic City Electric by possibly definitely taking over the boardwalk.
Mhm.
That's not too much of a cost increase to us, but I think that's something we need to look at, get an analysis together. Maybe I'll ask Ed when he gets back, maybe get with Al, find out what that savings is in a year on an annual basis. We're gonna have to maintain them, so have to pay for the electric, but they maintain them for the fee that we pay in the tariff.
In terms of the tariff for the street lighting project, where it says here.
It's part of the ESIP.
Okay,
So the street lighting all our street lights in the city will be changed to LED
right.
as part of,
Got it.
as part of our, but we have to go through the tariff program because we have to amend that.
Right.
Because we can't touch their poles without them saying yay.
Understood.
So 141 is reduction of performance bond and posting a maintenance bond for Ventnor Memorial Park. This is the one I was talking about earlier. This is where they finished their improvements and now they have to post a maintenance bond. 142, awarding de Blasio and Associates Professional Service NJDP MS4 stormwater outfall mapping, not to exceed $8,000. The DEP is asking that we map as part of our stormwater plan for the city, map all of our outfalls that go into the bay or into the ocean. So de Blasio is going to do just that for us, and it'll be GIS based eventually. 143, the sale of a 1987 Ford fire truck apparatus to the city of Atlantic City, which is deemed no longer needed for public use for $1. Is this the one we've already done with them, or is this?
This is the first one from that they are now they have used. We need this
They've
to,
had it from mutual aid, just goes
Right.
back a year or two.
Right.
I know.
It's a very old one. It's not the one we talked about.
Okay, still has our
Yes.
tags on it. all that.
Right. So this is part of getting that resolved.
For a while, it still had our name on the side. Now it's covered up at least.
Is it? Okay.
I've seen, I went by one day and I saw Margate's in there too.
Yeah, Margate did the same.
It's a good unit. It's just not, it's not up to our standards,
They are very appreciative of it. Atlantic
Yeah.
City is. I talked to the firefighters that use it.
right?
It's better than the products that they or the trucks that they.
Right, right. To our department's credit, they took care of it
Yep, they do.
in 1987.
Still in operation. That's
Great.
pretty good. 144 is authorizing the hiring of Adam Richards as a laborer, Public Works Department. He will be on an unfilled vacancy of Mark McGurk. We still have a vacancy to fill for KJ Orlando. That'll be upcoming soon. We have resolution 145 authorizing the hiring of Mark White as a pump operator. And it's also a vacancy of Greg Manna. So we're just backfilling some empty spots in Public Works. We interviewed with probably 28 or 30 applications. We interviewed 8 of them, I believe. And these are just 2 of the ones that we brought in. We've got a couple more to go.
And Mark's been with you. It's a seasonal.
Correct. Yeah, Mark White has been with us for quite a while. And that's how we're going to try and do this. We're going to try these guys out, make sure they can work, with our guys in the summer.
Sure.
And actually, we've kept him through most of the winter as part-time because we need the bodies. So, that's it for resolutions. Al will have our bills and payroll. Discussion items. We have a revocable license for 29 South Weymouth Avenue. I believe Ed was in support of that. 2 sets. This one's for 29 South Weymouth. Reconstruct 2 sets of steps, one on Weymouth, one on Atlantic, to construct a new accessible lift.
Right.
For a handicapped resident there. So that's something that Ed took a look at. It does not impact our right of way
Right-of-way.
that we use, doesn't impact the sidewalks negatively. So it's something that he supports.
So the property is on the corner of Weymouth and
Yes.
Atlantic. It takes both frontage and side.
It does.
Okay.
So that's something, what we'll do is if we're okay with it, he'll reach out to them. They'll get the information they'll do a survey of the area, give us a legal description of it. And then Ed will, I almost call it a staff action because that's what we call them. It's the RDA. We'll come back next month with a resolution for that
Okay.
at our next meeting.
So he'll have another look at it.
Yep. And then Newport Avenue, I'll turn that over to you, Tim, or Chief, to talk about. One way.
Oh, the one way?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The- Chief?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
I am driving, so bear with me. Newport Avenue, South Block. We looked at it. We are going to make it one way. It will flow from Atlantic to Ventnor Avenue. That roadway is just not wide enough to accommodate vehicles in both directions, especially up towards Ventnor Avenue. We've had some business owners reach out to us and wanted us to take a look at that. So we decided, I spoke with, Ed, engineer and Standpoint, and he agreed. And if you look at the other roadways, Portland Avenue, on the Atlantic City side and New Haven Avenue and so forth, there's not many of those streets that are 2-way. So we're just kind of being consistent with the other adjacent streets in the area. And the ordinance, dictates that the roadway will travel northbound from Atlantic all the way to Monmouth.
Do we take a break up and do that after the summer, just so that the traffic pattern is not?
So what's your
So there's-
timeline on that, Chief?
or do you-
So I met with Ed last week. The zone striping company is looking to do that the end of this month. I am prepared. I have a post ready and we have flyers ready to hand out. I'm just I'm waiting to get confirmation from them as to if that week of the 25th through the 29th of April works for them. Weather-wise, will also be a factor, but we're hoping by the first week of May to have that done.
So you'll re-sign it with do not enters and then it's going to be.
Yeah, we have to take the double yellow. We have to grind out the yellow line down the middle of the road, take the stop lines down. We have the signage all ready to go, the do not enter signs, which would be on Ventnor Avenue, 2 one-way signs when you kind of come out of the municipal lot and the church parking lot area. We'll have one-way signs. And we'll have to talk about the traffic signal, which isn't a safety issue, it's just something
Yeah.
more aesthetic wise to remove that at a later date.
What I might also look at and talk to Ed about as part of the zone striping guys coming in is possibly some arrows on the street, since it's going to be a new thing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Arrows
I
down
think we did discuss that. Yeah, I
Cambridge.
didn't see the actual purchase order and what was specifically the work that's being done, but that was something that Ed and I did discuss when we went out to the site.
It's gonna be a transition. It's gonna be difficult
That's
at
why,
first.
that's why I want the
Yeah,
arrows.
I agree. I mean, I agree with the change. It's especially when the farmer's market on Friday afternoons, you might even want to put a patrol there for the first couple of weeks, I
Yeah.
would think. But
Yeah, agreed. And
Chief, what I would
I want to
also,
notify. Go ahead.
Chief, what I was also suggest is maybe we use our mobile
Sign.
digital sign
Mm.
to, for the first, well, as soon as we do it, I would leave it up for a month
Yeah,
to let people know on Ventnor Avenue,
change the traffic pattern.
change the traffic pattern, that Newport is now one way to the bay.
It's the right way. It's the right
Yeah.
decision.
Well, it is, just we want to make sure we, and I like the idea of a flyer to hand it out to the residents there and the businesses. I don't know that
Yeah,
we have
that's all ready to go.
legal requirement to do a public notice, but we want to be a good courteous entity and at least let people know.
So it'll come from Atlantic to Ventnor one way.
Yes.
Yeah.
To
To
match,
match-
going to have to do
To
is
match the alternating streets that are going
Yep.
one way, the other
change our signage for the parking lot.
Yeah.
That,
entrance.
and I want to change it to a blue color because that's the
Yeah.
parking color.
Agree.
On Atlantic Avenue, it has a good arrow that says
Yeah,
public park municipal lot
right.
down here. So, and I actually want to change it from municipal lot to public park.
Yeah, I agree with a big
Municipal
P.
lot could mean a lot of things to different people.
That's right.
Public works lot to some people.
So they wouldn't need signage on Ventnor because you're not really looking for people to make that turn
What I would do is I want to put an arrow
forward.
forward to go down to the next street, make the left and come around.
Okay.
So that's, and wayfinding,
Yeah,
you have light signs on the street to, not everybody follows GPS.
right.
And-
Understood.
All right, thanks, chief. Careful driving.
You're welcome. Have a good holiday, everybody.
Thank you.
You too. Happy Easter. So discussion items are done. We'll go into a public portion that is on items that we have discussed this evening. Just for items for now. If there's any comments on anything else tonight, we'll do that at the end of the meeting. So with that, I'll ask for a motion to open up the public.
Motion to open to public?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jim, can you open up to the public unless Ernie or Nanette has anything here?
Is there anybody in Zoom who wishes to speak or question on any of the items that are being voted upon tonight? Please make yourself known within Zoom by raising your hand or within the chat feature and you'll be recognized. Once recognized, you may turn your camera on and unmute yourself and speak to the commission. Nope,
No one?
nobody,
Heard something.
nobody.
Okay. All right, motion to close public portion.
Motion to close public portion?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Need a motion to close the workshop portion and enter into our regular session of the meeting.
Motion to close workshop portion and enter.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I'll call to order our regular portion of our meeting this evening. We have need a motion to approve the minutes from March 10th and March 24th of our regular meetings.
Motion to approve minutes as described?
A second, roll call?
Commissioner Kribel?
Yes.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes. Okay, we have ordinance introduction. I need a motion to introduce ordinance 2022-003.
Motion to introduce ordinance 2022-003.
A second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kribel?
Yes.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes. I'll need a motion to introduce ordinance 2022-004. This is the codification of ordinances.
Motion to introduce ordinance 2022-004 as described.
A second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kribel?
Yes.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes. Need a motion to introduce ordinance 2022-005, which is adopting chapter 114, our fee schedule.
Motion to introduce ordinance 2022-005 as described.
A second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kribel?
Yes.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes. And lastly, a motion to introduce ordinance 2022-006. Chapter 180A, redevelopment plans, deleting its entirety section, seasonal occupancy, the code from the code of the city of Ventnor.
Motion to introduce ordinance 2022-006 as described.
Second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kribel?
Yes.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes. Okay, we have no public hearings this evening. We have no adoption of any ordinances. I'll need a motion to adopt resolutions 120 through 145 by consent.
Motion to introduce resolutions 120 through 145 by consent.
A second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kribel?
Yes.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes. Let's get that page. That. Al, can we have our bills and payroll, please?
Yes, the bill, for this period was $2,071,729.93. And the payroll for this period was $590,522.28.
A motion to approve bills and payroll as stated by our CFO.
Motion to approve bills and payroll as stated.
A second, roll call, please.
Commissioner Kribel?
Yes.
Commissioner Langgraf?
Yes. We don't have any announcements or safety report. Anything on commissioner comments, Tim?
Not really, just seeing a lot of these projects come together, the beach patrol headquarters coming along nicely. And it's going to be a great addition to the temporary headquarters is there now and up and running. So there's going to be no lag in service there. But it's a building that's going to be here for generations. It's really going to built like a tank, all 2x6.
Yeah.
Construction, metal roof, that is like a lifetime warranty. It gives the department a place to grow. So looking forward to seeing that come together.
I think everybody is. I know the guards are excited.
Yeah,
It was out. A couple of them over the last couple of weeks. And
we will never not be a beach community that needs
no,
a
you're always going to need.
community
Yep.
that needs
Always gonna
that
need-
facility.
Agreed. And good work by you. I think the design touches there really are going to make that building stand out.
Thanks.
I think it's really inside and out.
Yeah,
I know you work with Bill McLeese, the architect, and the chief and Captain Funk and everybody in there really.
yeah,
But it was something that, I've popped my head in there a couple times.
yeah,
Slow progress, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
Windows are delayed.
yeah, yeah. But they were there finishing up the soffits and plumbing and electrical's all roughed in. As soon as the windows hit, they'll be able to close it up and start on the inside.
Good.
But we did tweak the outside a little bit, I think, to make it a little bit more attractive from the boardwalk view.
Yeah, yep.
So that was some stuff that I had.
And
added
that's
to
what
it.
I'm,
Yeah,
that's what I think will really bring that building to scale.
right.
That facade will really bring it to scale. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That it for comments?
Yep.
Just real quick stuff. Our guys are, getting in code. Starting to get all the springtime complaints from property maintenance, maintain your properties, people. That's all we can say. Just, you're going to get a violation. If you don't fix it, you're going to get fined. Businesses, residential, everything. So we want to have a clean community. We want to put our best foot forward. This summer, I believe, is going to be one of the best summers down here. Everything's has opened back up and is ready.
Yeah.
People are raring to come back.
Yeah.
We had a great summer last year,
Mhm.
but I think this summer is going to be, expand on that.
Yeah.
Really well.
And there's new businesses opening all the time that
Yep.
are,
Oh, the Delaware Meat Marketplace, they're going to open up probably next week.
that's
I
great.
think it's called Crab something like that.
It's a strange name, but it's a
Fish boil.
it's a fish boil place.
Seafood boil
That
place,
It's a second location, so they know what to do. Yeah,
yeah. Jimmy was happy, so that's a good thing.
right.
When your code enforcement guy's happy about the
Yeah,
work, he's happy.
yeah.
Dorset Place should be open this year.
Dorset Place looks like
Yeah,
it's coming
Dorset Place
together.
is coming back around.
That's
building
changed
nets, Yeah,
hands.
changed hands.
We got-
Sorry to see Annette go, or Cheryl go, but
Plus, as we mentioned, yeah, the Ventnor Cellars. And then we have a golf
yeah. I wanna get over there and
facility
try it.
now,
I've heard good
virtual
things.
golf. Yeah,
Heard
so
good
have I.
things.
New Mexican.
Oh, yeah.
That's Mr. Gordo's.
It's
really good.
it's really, really
It's
good.
really good. Been there a
Yeah.
couple times.
Mr. Gordo. Yeah.
So,
It's a
all
great
right,
meeting.
enough of the commercials for our business.
Sorry. We're excited about it.
We are excited about it. It's great. You know, I was at an event in Margate Monday night, and it was a joint vendor and Margate group that was there, and the comments that we got from Margate residents, Margate commissioners, the
Right.
mayor, and our residents that were there were, you know, thanking us for what we've done, but also the Margate residents thanking us and complimenting us really
Yeah, yeah.
for what we've been able to do and get Ventnor, you know, really a worthwhile community.
Oh, yeah.
It's really changed.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not patting ourselves on the back. We've done a lot of things to help that, but it's also the
Wow.
business people.
Yeah.
And we've got a vibrant business association now. We've got good people working towards that. And
Mhm.
that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You create the opportunities
That's right.
that people can succeed. And that's what I think we've been able to do. So a lot of construction projects going on. Sorry for the inconvenience on the roads. We got to get this stuff done before the summer.
Right.
We try not to do big projects like that in the summertime. Probably some paving might leak into early season, but we'll get it done.
Dorset Avenue is a county project. We
Yeah.
don't have much control over that.
We don't have any control over that. We are battling with some concerns that we're having right now with these intersections, with the placement of various items and the sloping of curbs. We're working through that now. We don't know if we're going to be able to resolve it, but we have a meeting Monday with them to talk about that. Ed's met with them a couple times. I want to reemphasize our concerns that they really place things in locations that they did not consult us on.
Right.
Within our right of way, not just theirs. We don't have any control of the stuff in their right of way. But when it comes to ours, we should have some say. And they really didn't do that. So we're gonna talk about it. We've got some other intersections that they have to do yet. We'll make sure we're more involved in those. That's gonna be my big ask on Monday. It's like, look, guys, we need to do something about the rest of these. I know we can't do much about what's already been done. We're gonna try, but I don't have a whole lot of confidence in that change. We can make it known that we're displeased. I think we have done that. That's all I have for commissioners' reports. We'll open it up to public comment. Can I get a motion to open to general public comment?
Motion open to general public.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Jim, anybody out in the public want to make a comment on anything in general?
Anybody in Zoom who wishes to speak on any items, please make yourself known within Zoom by raising your hand or within the chat feature and you'll be recognized. Once recognized, you may turn your camera on, unmute yourself and speak to the commission. Okay? Do
Nothing,
not see
Jim?
anyone.
Okay, motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have no executive session. Anything else?
No.
Cindy, you good?
That's everything.
Maria? Wheels? Sorry. Shouldn't do that. Oh, Mr. Reynolds. Al, we're good? All right, motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
My second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. Fine job.